Hello, all. Good morning. Hello, all. Good morning. It is good to be with you after a while. And today I want to talk about keys to success. Uh, this is a topic that I've been thinking about for a while now. And I also want to talk from 3rd John, the book that is there in the last few pages of the Bible. And I like this book because we only have very few verses. It's just a small book and it doesn't talk about complicated topics. It talks about simple aspects and few important aspects that it talks about. So I want to concentrate on these aspects for today. But before that, may I just ask you, let me stop sharing and then ask you, what do you think of the keys of success? Can you unmute yourself and then speak, or you can even write in the chat? What are some of the keys of success? How can we succeed? We all want to succeed, I believe, right? We all want to be successful. And how can we be successful? What are some of the keys of success? What do you think? Santosh says discipline.
Practicing the presence of Jesus in everything we do.
Yeah, we need to have Jesus in our midst. Very good, Sundar. Thank you. And Tina says we have to trust in God, determination, and practice.
Perseverance.
Suman says practice. Sorry, Suman says perseverance. Elizabeth says hard work and integrity. Rachel says always trust in God. Not Tina, which means this is Sean.
And there was Sahana.
Oh, Sahana. Very good, Sahana. Thank you. What else? What else? What else? Karthik says traveling the success. Sorry, key for success. I like that, Karthik. Especially at this time, after the pandemic, we really want to travel, but I'm still afraid to travel. Anyway, so keys of success. Are there any other keys for success? Are there any other ways for success? Sandeep says very important thing. We need to have a good mentor, a mentor who shows the way. We need a good mentor. Very good, very good. Thank you, Sandeep. Anyone else? Any other keys to success? Keys to succeed. You can even emphasize from the ones that we already had talked about this morning or mentioned this morning. How many of you truly want to succeed? We all want to succeed, am I right? We all want to succeed. And how to succeed is one of the things that I want to talk about this morning, or it's the primary thing that I want to talk about this morning. But this is not just going to be a one-off sermon, and I also want to talk about this one in the next sermon also, in the next week also. I'll be talking about the same topic, but a different perspective that we will be talking about. The issue that I want to talk about is this, and in order for us to succeed, one of the important aspects that I want to talk about is this also, that everyone deserves to be successful. Everyone deserves to succeed is an aspect that I want to really emphasize today. One of the things that we realize or we go through or we find around us is many people are also depressed, they are sad, they are worried, they are anxious because of their failures. When we don't get success in life, we get disappointment. And when we have disappointment or when we have series of disappointment and we go into depression and we lose hope, and it just leads into a very destructive path, and it is not good for us and the people around us. In the recent past, and because of the pandemic and the effect of pandemic, and I am encountering few key people around me and who are going through some hard times, and especially psychologically, that because that the plans that they had could not be materialized, One friend wanted to buy a land and he wanted to buy a property. He saved everything and he just needed few more lakhs, about 10, 15 lakhs that he needed to buy the property. Because of the pandemic, everything went bad. And so he could not buy the land and just got really, really bad. And so he is really having a hard time right now because of that. So many things are happening around us. So at this time, I want to talk about this one. Usually we talk about the spiritual stuff and then how to be holy and other stuff. But I mean, today I want to concentrate on how to be successful and how to succeed in life. And this one particular aspect that I want to talk about is also everyone deserves to succeed. One of the reasons why I just put this slide particularly is that in many times, especially in Indian culture, we believe that the success is determined by the men in the family. I think it's a very, very bad idea. I think we all need to succeed. Everyone deserves to succeed. And what I mean by that is that every woman, every child, every person in the family needs to find their own path of success. And we as heads of the family may have to give room for the people to find ways to succeed, but we have to identify that everyone in our family needs to succeed. They have to go for success. Many a times in those days, I mean, cooking good food is the path for success for many housewives. And I think it's a really terrible idea. One important reason that I would say is that, if you have two people in the family, if you have five people in the family, and if all of them are working, if all of us are working, if all of us are working towards success, the family will move towards success, or it'll move to the next levels in life easily. And so the point that I'm trying to say is that by not allowing other people to succeed in life, and we are basically crippling ourselves, and I think we have to find ways to succeed. So let me just ask you this question, dear friends. What are the ways that you can succeed, or in what area you want to succeed? Housewives, what areas that you want to succeed? God has given talents to you. And what are the ways that you can use uh, the talents that God gave you, and how can you succeed? Men, how can you succeed? Children, how can you succeed? How are the ways that you can succeed? In what areas that you want to succeed is a question that I want to put forth before we move on. I know that I'm just asking or like talking something very personal, and but I know that it is for our good, and let's just move on with this one. When we talk about success, this particular aspect that I want to say is that I want to focus for today is that relationships are essential for success. That is what I want to focus today. We have talked about so many things in the chat and in the group. When you talked about integrity, when you talked about character, when you talk about hard work, and all these are very, very important. Our talents and our expertise, all these are very, very important for success. I agree with you. But there's one other aspect that I want to focus today is relationship. Have you ever thought about it? And while I was very young, my mentor and the president of the Bible College, his name is Chuck Quinley, Charles Quinley, and he is still our mentor. And we admire his life, and he is mentorship. And so he used to tell this over and over again to us, for me and Joyce and our group. He would always say this over and over again: whatever you need is there with other people. Have you realized that? Have you thought about it? Whatever we need is there with somebody else. If you need money, it is there with somebody else. If you need a job, it is there in the hand of somebody else. So whatever you need is there with somebody else. So all you need to do is to have good relationship, right relationship, and through right relationships, you can get what you need, is the thing that he would talk about. And so one of the important things that we need to focus for our success is to have good relationship, right relationship. Maintaining good relationship is important for success. When John Maxwell, the one who wrote this book called 21 Laws of Leadership, I really like this book, and it talks about lots of important things about leadership. And he talks about this particular thing. He says that, one important reason for the success story of North in the Civil War of USA is that when, the reason why North won, and we can talk about the Colt gun and then battle strategies and few others. But one important thing that he would talk about is that one of the important things is that the important general of the North, I forgot his name, I think it's Robert Lee, I think. But when he was waging war with the South, and in the daytime he would fight and he would fight with the other people, and the night in the camp while people are there, he would just walk in the midst of the people, and he is the general, he's the top guy of the army, but he would not just stay in his tent. He would go to the people, he would go to the soldiers, he will shake hands with them, and then he will encourage them, and then he will appreciate these people. And it boosted the morale of the people, it seems, of the North, and it paved way for victory for the Northern people. So one of the things that I want to focus today is this, that if we need to succeed in life, we need to focus on our relationships. As we maintain good relationships around us, and I think it'll pave way for success. It'll take us towards success when people watch us closely, and then our character and then our talents, our skills are monitored by other people, and we can go to the next steps in life, and it will help us immensely in our path of success. So one of the things that I want to do, or the primary thing that I want to do today, is this: how can we maintain good relationship? How can we maintain good relationship? One thing I would say is that in order for us to maintain good relationship, we should not get angry. We should get angry less. So if we do that, I think we can succeed in life, which is a major problem, I believe. But anyway, let's just go to 3rd John. Is a short book. It just has about 14 verses. We are going to talk about few things from this book, and I love this book. It's a very short book, but it's a very interesting book. So I want to talk about relationship and success. The primary thing that John is doing in this book is about maintaining relationship. Have you noticed that, we see Paul and John and other people who had written letters, and they had written letters primarily to maintain relationship. They were there far away from the place that they are writing to, and then they had been traveling, or they had been staying far away, but they had to spend a lot of money in writing a letter so that they would maintain relationship. Right now, all we need is a good connection, internet connection, and we can just write an email or a WhatsApp message and send it. It doesn't cost us at all. And I still remember in the time that, a few years ago, in my time, long time ago, we used to have something called England letter. We used to call that as England letter. It's not England letter. It is inland letter. We used to have this inland letter where we write letters to other people, and it used to be challenging. We have to go to the post office, get the letter, and then go home, write, and then leak, and then post it, and then send it out. It will take forever to reach. Sometimes it will not reach. So in those days, it was like that. But imagine 2000 years ago, you have to buy a papyrus which comes from Egypt, and it's imported. You don't have paper at the time, and you have to get the papyrus from Egypt, and it will come all the way from Egypt. And then you have to have amanuensis, a guy who writes the letters. You cannot write. If you're going to write, it's going to cost at least 3 times or 4 times, and you have to hire somebody and then ask them to write, and then this person will write, and you have to dictate these things. And in order for you to dictate, you have to think about it and memorize what you're going to say. You have to structure everything, memorize everything, and when the amanuensis is there, he will just say, okay, tell me, and you have to tell. because he has to go to the other place. So lot of things were involved. And after writing the letter, you may sign it by the end of the letter, and then this guy may take this letter, or you have to send this letter with a courier, so that this person would have to travel all the way and then give the letter to the other person. They did not have postal service at the time, and you have to send somebody to take the letter there. So it is a very costly affair. The reason why I'm saying is that why would they write these things? Why would they write these things? If you want to know more about it, and you can go to Google and then search about Greco-Roman letters or like Greco-Roman epistles, and you will find some interesting letters. And in those letters, we can identify a few letters, like the son saying that I'm suffering here, Father, and please send me some money. Same thing that we used to say when we were in college and other times. So we have things like this, and then the wife writing at what time you are coming, or like when are you coming. So repeatedly we see so many letters saying that when are you coming, when are you coming. Wives would write those kind of letters. So we have several letters like this, but here John is writing particularly to maintain relationship and to establish relationship, and to move these people towards a closer relationship. So I like this aspect, and I want to talk about this one. And as I mentioned earlier, in order for us to have success in life, we need to maintain relationship. Can we just think about few people with whom we need to maintain good relationship? For our success, we need to maintain good relationship. But the point that I want to say is that let us not focus and say, for my success, I need this guy, I need that guy, I need that guy. But instead, if we can just have this as a habit or a character to maintain good relationship with people around us, it'll really help. Have you noticed just key relationships are built over time? Key relationships are built over time. You cannot establish relationship in just few minutes or in just few days. It will take over time, and people need to watch you. People need to observe in order to get to know you, so that they will just invest on you in money or with time or with efforts and other things. And for that, we need to build relationship for a longer period of time, which means we don't know who is going to help us in time of need. One of the ways that we can do it now is that, like what the elder John has done before, we also need to write emails. We also need to write WhatsApps. We also need to write messages to them saying, or like to keep relationship, to keep thanking people who are really important for us, to just establish relationship, ask them, what is happening, how is things. So we really need to keep the relationship. I'm just thinking about this one. We have our dog in our house, and we have a dog, and she is just 6 months old, and 6 or 7 months old, but she behaves like she is just 60 years old, and she wants to be included in everything. Everywhere we go, she will just follow. And if me and Tanya, or if me and Joyce are sitting together, she will come and literally poke her nose. She's always like that. But one of the things that she's doing is basically maintaining relationship. She wants us to be with her. She wants us to spend time with her. She will just do all kind of crazy things. If we are not concentrating on her, she will do all kind of crazy things in order that we will maintain the relationship with her. I think relationship is very, very important, not just for us, even for our pets. But anyway, let's just focus on these things. John is saying something very, very profound. He is saying we need to establish relationship, and we need to write and also establish relationship. Let's just move on to the letter. As I don't have time, I'll just move on to this one. So here we have the epistolary things, few important things that need to be there. And first he's introducing himself and the elder, and he's saying, to my dear friend Gaius, whom I love in truth. I really like this one. He is writing to Gaius, elder, and we know that it is John who is the one who is writing, and he is addressing himself as elder because he is of age And most probably it's written about 90 to 95 80. So he must be around 90 to 95 years old at the time. And so he's really old, he is elder, and so he is writing. But the way that he is writing to Gaius, he must be around 45 years old or 50 years old maximum. And so he is writing to Gaius, but the way that he is addressing is quite interesting. He is calling him as dear friend Gaius. Let me share my personal story. And I was working in a Bible college, and I was a faculty in the Bible college. And then one person came as a dean, and he began to, call us as Tambi. I just came from Philippines, where people usually call as sir or with respect and others. And when this person began to call as Tambi, I was taken aback. But later on, I realized it was also a tool that this person has used in order to manipulate or in order to show his superiority. Have you noticed the way we call others, the way we address others, the way we give respect to others is very, very important? And I still remember while I was just very young, I was just 21 years old, I think. And my mentor, the one that I've talked about, and he took us to a shop, and I think it was Burger King, where we have good beef burgers. I'm not talking about this, really bad lamb burgers Burger King. I'm talking about good beef burgers. So it was a real nice burger in Burger King. And then he told to the guy that, who was in front of us, and he said that, please give one Whopper for my friend. I was just 21 years old. I was new to the Bible college, and he's the president of the Bible college. And he was the pastor of one of the leading churches in Philippines. And him calling me friend, really boosted my morale, and it just added value to me so much. So the point that I'm trying to say, my friends, is that we adding value to our friends, others, is a very, very important key for maintaining good relationship. How to maintain good relationship? The one way to maintain good relationship is add respect, add value to others, being respectful to others, and honoring others with our words, with our address, and with the way that we look at others is very, very important. One of the things that happened recently is that, I was the one who was chairing a meeting. And while I was chairing this meeting, and I was just observing a person who was presenting in Zoom. And while he was addressing to us, or while he was looking at us and in the camera, and his face was polite and good. But when he turned to his team to tell them, please change the slide and so on, his face changed. He was rigid, and he was like angry with his people. So every time he just turned to his people, to his team members, his face changed, and then it showed something about himself. It showed that he is not treating his team well or with respect. Even by our face, reactions, we can say a lot of things. As we add respect to other people, we will have more friends. We will maintain good relationship. And I like what an elder is doing. He is older person, but he is still considering Gaius as his friends. And he says, dear friend, I pray that you may enjoy good health and that all may go well with you, even as your soul is getting along well. And when we talk about this one, and one thing that I see here is this, and this person, or like John, has genuine concern for this friend. He is writing to Gaius, and he is saying, let all the thing will go well. So as we see here, and one way to maintain good relationship is showing genuine concern to the other people. People can easily identify if we are not truthful. They can easily identify the lie. If we are manipulating others, it will be known. Flattery is very obvious. People can know flattery. I'm telling you, 2000 years ago, and in Tamil we have Tirukural, right? And we have writings from Greco-Roman world. They said that, how do we identify flatterers from friends? It is a document littered by, Plutarch. Plutarch has written a document saying, how do we identify a flatterer from friend? It is very obvious for us to identify the flatterer. If we are not going to show genuine concern, it will obviously be known. And it should become part of us when we look at our co-workers or those people who are working under us. And when we see them, we have to ask genuinely, how are you doing? How is your family? How are your kids? And then go touch them. A small touch can change things. One pastor told about another pastor in the US, and I was just there with him. And he said, I really am afraid to meet this pastor. Every time I meet, and he will just touch me and then look me in the eye and then ask me this question, how are you doing? And when he asks me in the eyes, saying the how are you doing? And without my knowledge, I will just spill out all the secrets that I would not tell to anybody else. How amazing is that? When we ask people, genuinely ask people of their concerns or like show our concern for them, it will help us to build relationships well. If we need to succeed, my friends, number one, we need to maintain good relationship. And how we can maintain relationship is by respecting others. And number two is by showing genuine concern for the others. Just ask them, how are you doing? And my friend from Philippines, and we are friends for about 21 years right now. And so from Philippines, he will just write to me often, asking me if I'm doing okay. How are you doing, Bennet? How are you doing, Bennet? How are you doing, Bennet? And I feel close. I have not seen him for a long time, for about 7 years. I have not seen him, and we don't really talk much. But the message that we receive, a genuine concern from that person, really builds us up and makes us feel closer to that person. And I think one of the key things that we can do is show genuine concern to the others. Number one, we need to show respect. And number two is showing genuine concern. Mike Vance says that success and all good things in life start with a genuine concern for others. And as we show genuine concern for others, and we can build more relationship or good relationship, and it will help us to go higher in life. Let's go into this fifth verse where he says, dear friends, you are faithful in what you're doing. For the brothers and sisters, even though they are strangers to you, they have told the church about your love. Please send them on their way in a manner that honors God. So the main problem of the church is this, or the issue of the church is this. This Gaius, who is the leader of the church, is showing hospitality to the visitor who was coming, or like who was coming from elder, from John. So John had sent few people. So we see that Gaius is showing hospitality, but others are not showing hospitality. And we see that the elder, John, is thanking these people, saying that thank you very much for doing all these things. You showing concern. So here, if you notice verse 7, it was for the sake of the name that they went out, receiving no help from the pagans. And the people that I'm sending out for ministry, and the one that was carrying the letter to you, and we see that these people are not going to the pagans, they are going to the Christians, and you are showing hospitality. We ought therefore to show hospitality to such people so that we may work together for the truth. Hospitality was very, very important. And so here the elder is writing to them saying that thank you very much for all the hospitality that you are showing to these people. And one of the things that here that, the writer of the book of John is doing is that appreciating the other people. Dear friends, appreciation is very, very important. In our Indian culture, if you appreciate, something bad will happen to you, right? We have this concept that we cannot appreciate. Once you appreciate, bad things will happen to you or to the other person. So if you really want to appreciate, you have to scold that person. You have to say all the negative things to the other person, and so that you know the other person can move up in life. No, it's not like that. Appreciation is key for life. In order for us to maintain good relationship, we need to appreciate. When we study about teaching, that we have several, we have several lessons about teaching. And one thing they say is that if you want to maintain good relationship with the students, you need to appreciate. And we have this rule. And even if a student is saying a wrong answer, and we are asking a question, and then if a student is answering really a wrong answer, we will still have to say, very good, very good. And a simple appreciation can change everything around, they say. And appreciation is very, very important. How do we appreciate? How do we appreciate? And we see John is giving an example here also, verse 3. It says that it gave me great joy when some believers came and testified about your faithfulness to the truth. If you notice, first thing what he's doing is that he's talking about his feeling, and then he's talking about his feeling which is joyful, and he's saying why he is joyful, why he is happy. So he's saying, I am happy because you are being faithful to the truth. So the point I want to say, my friends, is this: if you want to learn how to appreciate properly, share your feeling. I am happy because you did this. If you have your kids, please, I mean, practice this one. Appreciation is very, very important for our kids. And if we don't appreciate our kids, and when they get older, they will have low self-esteem, and it will create more problems for them in their lives. And so one thing we can do is that let's talk about the positive feelings that we have. We may have, so many negative feelings, we need not talk about those things, but we have to talk about the positive feelings. I am happy because you did these things. This appreciation is very, very important. This emotion of showing the feeling that we have is very, very important in order to maintain good relationship. The first thing that we saw earlier is that, we need to respect others. And then the second thing we saw was, what's that? I forgot. Yeah, we need to show genuine concern. And then the third thing we saw was appreciating others. Seems like I am getting old. Anyway, appreciation is important for what? Why are we appreciating? Why are we appreciating? We are not just simply appreciating. We are appreciating to build others up. We have to have a goal. We have to have a purpose for our appreciation. I want to appreciate this person about this one. If I have a student who is doing well in Greek, I have to appreciate the student saying, you are good in Greek. I like the way that you are translating. I like the way that you are interpreting. You are doing good. The reason why I'm saying is to build that person up so that he will be stronger in the interpretation, or he will be stronger in the studying of Greek. So we need to have this purpose intended, and which is to build others up. When we build others up, it will automatically strengthen our relationship. Have you noticed few people who have done few good things in our life long time ago, you still love them, you still appreciate them, you still respect them even now, even after so many years. And I think it's very important, dear friends. Appreciation is very, very important, and we need to appreciate and build others up. Verse 11, I'm going to finish in a few minutes. Dear friend, do not imitate what is evil, but what is good. Anyone who does what is good is from God. Anyone who does what is evil has not seen God. And he is talking about the friend that he is sending, right? Demetrius is well spoken of by everyone, and even by truth itself. We also speak well of him, and you know that our testimony is true. So, the important point here is that we see the elder, and he is talking about his team members, or he is talking about the team, and he is appreciating the team in front of Gaius. So he is saying, my team member Demetrius is a good guy. He is spoken very well of. One of the important things for success is that we have to empower our team members. One of the things that I've seen over and over again with failed leaders or the leaders who could have succeeded more and who did not, and if you just notice, they were lone rangers or they did not empower the team members. They did not have great relationship with the team members and they did not empower the team members. And I think it's one of the worst thing that can happen to us, to you. By not empowering our team, we are basically crippling us. If we empower our team, we can push the team further. And when the team succeeds, we also succeed. And I can share from my life, and I know that, I'm not, I'm not that experienced in many things. But with my limited exposure, I can just share this, that my success is directly proportionate to that of the success of my students. When my students went out and then began to shine in their fields, and then when they become the principals and deans of other Bible colleges, I was noticed. They began to talk about me, and then I'm in a place right now because of my students. If my team members are empowered, if my team members are successful, and I eventually succeed. And for that to happen, we have to give as much as possible to our team members. We have this bad idea in our Indian culture that you should not teach 100% to your team members. You should not teach, all that you know to your mentees. You have this concept there in the old teaching things. And you have to have at least one skill and you have to keep it with yourself. You should never teach your team members or your mentees, a concept that we have in Indian old stories. It's not like that. Our students, our mentees, our team members should outperform us. They have to perform more than us so that they can go to other places, and through them and with them, we also can succeed and grow beyond. In order to in order that to happen, we need to empower others. John is doing that so beautifully, and he could not be there, and he knows his limitation, and he is saying, I am sending Demetrius. He is a very good guy, and he is empowering him. He would have gone there and preached a sermon, and then he would have done ministry there. An interesting aspect here is this: John empowers his team members, and through which he is expanding the reach of himself. And another thing that I see here is also about another person who is Diotrephes, and he is a leader of another church and who was not welcoming others, and he was not showing hospitality to others. And so John is now writing to Gaius and saying, don't be like him. Don't be like that person and who's not showing hospitality. And so he's just writing all these things. And one other thing that I want to share here is this: and when you have a team and when you work with your team and you have to protect your team from bad influences, it is our responsibilities, and we need to talk to our team members, and then we have to influence them, then mentor them, and we have to protect our team so that our team will be successful. Dear friends, I just want to focus on this particular aspect and then end it for today. In order for us to to be successful, we need to have a good team. We cannot be lone rangers. We cannot do everything on our own. On our own, we can go to a place, but if we have a team, we can go to places. We can go to another level, and we need to have a team. And when we form the team, we need to empower our team. And when we empower the team, we also need to work with the team. And then we have to protect them from bad influences. This is very, very important. Let me just finish this one with this slide. In order for us to succeed, we need to have good relationship. We need to build good relationship. It is imperative that day in and day out, every day, it should become the motto that we have to build relationship. We cannot be in seclusion. We cannot be in isolation. We cannot be in an island. We have to maintain good relationship, and we have to purposely do it. Sometimes we just have to write messages or WhatsApp or call and other things in order that we will build good relationship. And as we build relationships, we have to think about these things. Number one, respect others. The one who respects others will win many friends. And we have to respect others. Respecting others is very, very important. Letter B is we have to show genuine concern to the others. We know that people can't really identify if we are faking things. And so we have to show genuine concern to the others. And let us see, we have to appreciate others. Appreciating others and encouraging others will really take us in the relationship a long way. And appreciating others will help us to retain good relationships. And then number 4 or letter D, we have to work with the team. We have to form the team and we have to empower the team and we have to work with the team. The one who works with the team will lead the team to success, and that success will take you to places. And finally, we have to protect the team. It is imperative that we have to work with the team and we have to protect the team. In order to keep the team dynamic, the leader will protect the team from bad influences. These are some of the things that I wanted to share today. In order for us to maintain good relationships, we need to work with our team members and we need to, establish good relationship with the people. In order for us to succeed in life, we need to establish good relationship. And I hope that God will help us in our own fields, in our own places, in our own work, in our own businesses, that we will establish good relationships and glorify God in what we do. Let's just go to a time of Holy Communion. And if you have your elements, please take it with you.